What's up, guys? Welcome to today's Instagram Q&A. Now, I know you guys were wondering all morning, like, where's the video? Where's the video? I know, I kind of messed up. I didn't have time to record this video yesterday, so I actually had to record it today, and I literally just finished editing it. You're watching it right after I took my fingers right off the keyboard. But I asked you guys yesterday on my Instagram at ThickSolidTight. If you're not following me, you should follow me so you don't miss out on these opportunities. I asked you guys to leave me a bunch of questions so that I can answer them for you guys today in this video. Now, I'm gonna go through, there was over 180 questions, so I'm gonna go through and try to choose the ones that I think have good talking points, and then I'm gonna answer a whole bunch more, but I'm gonna put all those extra ones on my secondary vlogging channel, which is Brian Turner or Humorous Progress, and you can find the link right in the description, first line below. So I'm gonna get started with this, and the first question comes from Cameron Simpson, and he says, how can we train with splits and not full body every other day? Oh, by the way, guys, if you're wondering why I'm so wet and whatnot, I just literally finished leg day, so you guys can be watching overlaid footage of my squats and my deadlifts. I was really stoked to hit the deads that I did hit today. Anyways, why do I hit splits instead of full body? Full body is great for people who don't have a lot of time or can only hit the gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week, you know, a limited amount of times per week. But when you can go 6 days a week, which I have been for the last 7 years, you need more consistency. You need to hit your muscles as often with as much frequency as possible, especially as a natural lifter. So when I do my splits, I'm able to hit each muscle group, every single muscle from head to toe, twice a week. And that helps me grow a lot. It's something that I've noticed in the last year has progressed myself much more than any of the previous years before that. Next question. The next one comes from Chelsea Listen. She says, when are you gonna fly me out to Cali, baby girl? As soon as I have the money to do it, girl. But you know we all want to collab with you. Every single one of the people down here at Beyond the Week wants to collab with you. So really, we're just waiting for you. I wish I did have the money to fly you out because I would immediately. DJ Sherwood says, what's up with the lady game, bro? This seems to be a question that reoccurs a lot. If I had the time, if I had the opportunity, there would be a lady game. Now, if I had an 8th day to the week, you know, and it was Lady Day instead of Monday, then that would be the day that I chose to pursue some sort of ladies. Now, I mean, it's great. I feel like it's really awesome to have a person, you know, someone of the opposite sex that you're attracted to, because it's an endorphin rush. It's almost like a drug release. It's really good for you, and it's very encouraging, but I also feel it's very inhibiting. Of course, you guys have heard that, you know, when you're in a relationship, it's give and take. It's our instead of my, it's our. And right now, with my business and my plans and the things that I'm planning on doing, there isn't really time for a we. There isn't really time for an hour, and there isn't really much room for compromise, you know? So say I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't be able to give her any of my attention because every single day, from the minute I wake up until the minute I go to bed, I'm doing something. I'm making videos, I'm coaching people, I'm making new designs, I'm packing, I'm printing shirts. There's just so much stuff, and it wouldn't be fair to take a girl and be like, hey, you wanna be my girlfriend? I'll see you never. You know, like it's not something that happens. So honestly, pretty slim amount of girl chasing and a lot more entrepreneurial business chasing for me right now. And you know what? When I get settled down in my life, I'll go look for a girl, but right now is not the right time. And I feel like it's smart to know that. This one's pretty cool. Chriswell says, are you planning on making your own protein powder, your own pre-workouts, or your own supplement line in the future? Now, I wish I could make it right now. I wish I could have you guys taking protein for me and pre-workout for me and stuff that I've formulated based off of decisions that I've made over the years of what I do and don't like and supplements, because I feel like I'm pretty well versed when it comes to creating my own supplements and knowing the ingredients behind the label and not falling for the shiny label, you know what I'm saying? But to actually create a supplement line requires a lot of overhead. You know, you have to have manufacturers, you have to have labeling companies, you have to have a distribution setup, you have to have a lot of stuff going before you can just release it. It's not like you just go down and you buy some caffeine pills and you throw it into a mixture and then you sell it out. You have to make sure that you have the ability to do it and do it proper. I would never want to half-ass some sort of business venture of mine, something that I am passionate about. I always want to come in giving the best quality back to you guys that I can, because that's who I am. I'm a perfectionist. I'm someone who really likes to get good at something before trying to sell it to people. I feel bad if I sell you something and I'm not confident with it. If I feel like you maybe have any doubts at all and I've taken your money, I feel horrible. So I would never try to peddle any supplements on you guys until it was the right time, I had enough money, and I had formulated it for months and months and months until I decided what the final version was gonna be. Rod Fieldy says, why is everyone so jealous of my Endless Pursuit hoodie? Because you probably look really, really sweet in it and everyone else is wearing some Reggie ass clothes and you're wearing the dopest new thing. Probably. Or maybe they're just looking at you, making fun of you. Who knows? Kiali BHC says, how do you stay positive when times are getting rough? And he leaves a frowny face. The one thing that I've always stayed true to, one of the things that I've always had in my mind whenever I'm faced with a tough situation, is just the fact that it's going to be over. Just remember that, it's going to be over. No matter how hard it is, you know, you gotta get your tooth pulled in 48 hours. You have an essay to write out. You know, someone just, I mean, God forbid, but someone just passed away. Something serious just happened that was traumatic. It will be over. It's just how it is. Time heals everything, and it will be over. If you just keep that in mind, if you think, hey man, in 48 hours, no matter how tough all this was, it's going to be done. I will have completed it, and then we'll be moving on, and it will be over. As long as you can keep that in your mind, I feel you have it's very empowering. You have a lot more control over any situation you're going into, just because you know it's tough, but it's gonna be over, and you don't have to continue with it. It's good to know there's a finish line to any sort of sorrow or any sort of obstacle you have to face in your life. I knew this question was gonna come up, or at least some sort of question like this. Makatena says, how often do you train your abs? Now, of course, I get all the questions like, what do you do for your abs and whatnot, so I'll just answer. What I do for my abs is a decline weighted sit-up, right? So I do 25 reps for each set, and I do 4 sets, that's 100 reps. Usually, I'll do the 25, but you can even you know, go higher or lower, whatever, use a heavier weight or a lower weight, whatever you wanna do. I train my abs every other day that I can. So if it's an upper body day, I usually do, or you know, whatever. If it's not a rest day, I do. So that means it's usually about 2 to 3 ab days per week. Abs are like any other muscles. You don't wanna work them every day. For some reason, people think that you should. I don't know why, but you wouldn't work your biceps every day. You wouldn't work your chest every day. You wouldn't do squats every single day, unless of course you're doing like powerlifting or something. But abs need to recoup just like any other muscle. You tear them down, they need to build back up before you tear them down again. Don't just keep tearing things down. Don't light the city on fire, let it burn, and then light it on fire again. You gotta let them rebuild the city so that they can build it bigger. Next question comes from somebody called Acne Boy, and I think that's pretty rad that people are naming themselves something that most people are insecure about. It's kind of cool. There's like this new wave of being comfortable in your skin type people. That's really cool. Anyways, what he says is, worst mistake you've ever made in the gym. This one's pretty funny. Some people have heard this before, but not everyone's heard this, and this is one of my favorite stories. I was on the squat rack and I was outside of the rack, right? So I had the pins on the outside of the rack, and I was going to step back and squat outside of the rack, right? So the bar is on the hooks. And sometimes when I do a heavy weight, I need to get pumped up. I need to, like, you know, throw some things around, shake some weights and stuff. So I actually pushed the bar into the rack and then pulled it back. And one of the hooks actually was not secured into the cage from the last person before me. So the right hook came completely out of the cage, well, the left one stayed on. So the barbell went from this to this very quickly, and it had 3 plates on each side. So it was all boom, and then the other half came off, boom. It was pretty crazy. I mean, legitimately someone could have died. Worst mistake in the gym. This is actually a very good question. A lot of these questions get repeated, but actually no one has asked this one to me before. Pafif says, what was the longest amount of time that you were forced to stay out of the gym, that you were not able to work out? Now, as you guys know, I've worked out for 7 years straight, every single day that I could. I haven't missed anything on purpose. But of course, if you get injured, it's not like you're gonna work out that bone that's broken, right? So there are some times that you have to take a break. Now, the longest period of time that I had to take a break was when I broke my ribs. I actually broke them longboarding, which was pretty stupid, and now I don't longboard anymore, and that took me out for 6 months. 6 months, I couldn't do anything. What I did was just straight isolations for my arm, where I was not contracting my torso or holding it tight, isolations for my legs. I really had to learn to like breathe my stomach and not hold any of it tight, because that's just naturally what you do, is hold it tight. And I did not hold it tight, so I wasn't crunching my ribs with my abs. And then the worst thing ever, the story gets better. After I finally repaired, after I was finally good to go to the gym again, I'd gone through maybe like 3 or 4 weeks of full body workouts, and I was like, all right, you know, it's time to get back to it. I played an indoor soccer game, and I saved a goal, but in saving the goal, I went from standing to both my legs were clipped by the kid trying to shoot and kick my feet instead of the ball, so they didn't score, but he kicked my feet, and I went toppling just straight over. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a big dude, like I'm 200 pounds, at the time I was 215. It's like a robot. There's no agility left. You don't like land and kind of like jump and bounce instead. You like, I just went from here to like a tower, like a skyscraper, just dropping with no mobility, just one solid stick. Landed straight on my same side of the ribs and re-broke those ribs, which was just, oh, it was bad. Kurt, you guys know Kurt, my best friend, his girlfriend was a nurse at the time, and she went and got me ice and like took care of me, and it was just, oh, it was bad. It was really bad. Also, I couldn't lift after that for another 8 months, so that was really, really annoying. But I got back to it. Because you never ever let that stuff take you out. My O2 hero says, how does it feel to be such an inspiration to people around the world? Now, I'm not really sure that I am. I mean, I know that I do inspire a lot of people, but that question, I don't know, that question just feels hard to answer without sounding, you know, full of yourself, right? I'm inspired to inspire people. That's what I want to do. I want to help people throughout their entire lives. Just anybody, you know, I want to increase people's quality of life. I don't care if, you know, you're getting from fat to skinny to muscular, or even if you're not trying to progress in that sort of an aesthetic way, you're just trying to become more energetic in life or have more fun or enjoy yourself more. Whatever it is, I want to help people. So when people even just one person out of a week or a month or something tells me, hey man, you motivate me, you inspire me, or hey, I was driving home from work today and then I heard, you know, your voice or something on your video, or I was on your Instagram, and then I turned left and went to the gym instead of going home. Like, that kind of stuff is so cool to me, and that's a huge reason of why I do this. Being able to help people and connect people, like, it's amazing. But I don't know, I don't feel like I inspire a ton of people. I feel like I'm still just building my base to where I'm able to reach out to those people. And I feel maybe in like a 6-month or a year period, I'll be able to really, truly motivate and help people. But in the meantime, everybody that I am able to motivate and inspire, oh, it feels so good, and it's exactly what I want to do in my life. So being able to help you guys, while you may want to thank me, I'm actually thanking you, because you're the reason that I want to do these videos and the reason that I do these videos. So this last question goes to Babalustein. She says, did your acne hold you back from doing things in your life maybe earlier before your acne cleared up a little bit? Yes. Yes and no, right? So I went into high school and I had acne. So I was already, you know, used to having acne, and the way that I interacted with people was because of the situations that I was given up to that point in my life. So I had acne, and that was how I just dealt with it however I felt like. And I was never like nervous or anything, but I was conscious, you know, I was conscious of it. So if I had like a huge cyst on my nose, sometimes I would get these really bad ones on my nose, and it would look like like a Rudolph the reindeer, or it'd have like a big gnarly one. And people in high school, they don't have any shame, man. They'll be like, oh, what's that, bro? And they'll touch it. I remember people would touch my face, and that was one of the most annoying things possible. It was one of my biggest pet peeves, because I was like, hey, look guys, it's pretty obvious I have acne, right? So touching my face is not a good idea, because obviously I'm prone to getting acne. You guys are kind of being dicks. But as far as it holding me back, I never let it hold me back. Maybe some girls, you know, were a little shallow and didn't talk to me because of that or something, but I never thought about that. I never like talked to a girl and then was like, oh man, maybe she was looking at my zits, or like, oh, maybe she, you know, I could have gone out with her, but she didn't like me because of my zits. I never ever let that kind of a thing happen. But of course, early in my life, I was a different person. I wasn't quite as confident as I was, and I'm sure an attributing factor to that was my acne. And then I got to this certain point where I realized that my insecurities, or my faults, and my blemishes, and the things that people make fun of me for are actually great tools and opportunities for myself to help other people be comfortable. Because maybe there's another person who was in the same situation as me, going to high school, and their friends are coming up and poking their cysts, making fun of them and stuff, but maybe that person isn't taking it okay. Maybe that person isn't even talking to girls at all, or whatever, because they're so embarrassed. And the fact that I can help people because I've had that same issue, but now I've grown and matured into a different person with a different perspective on how to deal with those things, being able to help people is amazing, and it's a blessing. So having acne has actually helped me live more of my life, if that makes sense. It's helped me live more of my life than it has stopped me from living my life at all. It is absolute blessing, and I couldn't be more thankful for the fact that I've had acne and I'm still fighting with acne. All right guys, that was a ton of questions. There are still like tons and tons more. I'm gonna answer some more, but that will be on my other channel, like I told you before. Link right there in the description below. If you're not following me on Instagram, I don't know how you guys are gonna ask me questions for the next Instagram Q&A. Of course, there's gonna be more Ask Brian's, there's gonna be more live shows, but sometimes I like to do the Instagram Q&A, so make sure that you follow me, otherwise you're gonna miss it. And you don't wanna do that, right? So go to Thick Solid Tight, that's all one word, at Thick Solid Tight on Instagram. Hit the follow button, get me to 20K. I'm at 19.1 right now, it'll be really exciting. and I'm sure we'll do another Q&A very soon. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this style of video, which I really do, where I'm able to just talk and talk and talk and answer a lot of questions and not really worry so much about the sound effects and swooshes and swashes, then please leave a comment and let me know, because there's no other way for me to know. If you leave a like, I would love that too. It helps the video grow, but even a like, I can't really tell what you're thinking, so please leave a comment. It helps out a lot. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe this is the first time you've seen a video on my channel or something like that, please give my other content a little bit of a view and see if you like me, and if you do, then hit the subscribe button and follow along with the journey. It's completely free and it's a lot of fun. We get to see everything happen. Like, this is the first step of the rest of my life, and you guys get to come with me, so it's very exciting. I love you all. Team Beyond the Week. Big J.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN!
Yeah!